yes, I contradict myself. I do. You know why? Because I'm a person. We are contradictory things. How many times do we say we're going to do one thing and then we end up doing the exact opposite thing? I feel like I'm just more aware of it, you know? And I know that I give society a very, very hard time in relation to the technology that they have used and abused to the point of no return. The technology has, like, transformed everybody into these, like, materialistic, approval-obsessed automatons. And if that's not their issue, then they're doing the exact opposite, where they think that they're, like, being some kind of rebel because they use epithets, or, you know, it's like they repeat talking points that have made other people famous. And they're like, oh, okay, if I just repeat this talking point, then they'll pay as much attention to me as they do this motherfucker. But that motherfucker's controlled opposition. They're controlled opposition so they can control you, who mistakenly thinks that you're opposing something, but you're not. Now, I know that in certain ways I'm probably doing the exact same thing, and this bothers me. Don't think it doesn't, okay? Because I ask myself all the time, like, what do you have in your possession that resembles a smartphone? What do you have in your possession that's, like, allowing you to just check out and not have to take responsibility for anything? Like, what is that? Let me know. Let me know, because I'm, like, racking my brain trying to figure out if there's anything that resembles a smartphone in my life. Like, okay, so when I go home and I check my laptop, like, I can be obsessive about it. I know that. But that's in my house, though. That's in my house. And it's underneath my couch, okay? Because I don't like having it. I really don't. I mean, I can go on the internet and I can look a lot of stuff up. So I've been looking stuff up about my dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. So apparently, people that have a screwy dorsolateral prefrontal cortex cannot be hypnotized. Isn't that cool? I told you, this is schizophrenic privilege, baby. So I don't think it's just hypnosis when it comes to, you know, a psychiatrist or psychologist or therapist, whatever. I'm like a cat when it comes to hypnosis, you know? You ever try to hypnotize a cat? Won't work. They'll just end up playing with that tool, right? They try to grab it. Well, that's what I do. Because I know that they're trying to do that shit, so it's not going to work. It's just little stuff like that that holds my interest. And, like, I end up looking up stuff like phantom pains and, you know, like, because I want to understand the psychological issues that we have. And if you understand psychology, you're not going to be as susceptible to the same level of control that, you know, the rest of the public is. And I'm not saying that to put myself on a pedestal, because, like, this isn't, I mean, I guess it is a choice in a way, because I chose to smoke more weed, and I chose to not take my medication, and I chose to get off my birth control, and I chose to drop out of college, and I chose to work in the restaurant industry that would toughen me up and educate me about how bad this country really is. Because there's a lot of shit that we know. But it doesn't matter. Like, any way that I talk about it, I'm going to sound like an arrogant sack of shit. You know? There's no way to talk about yourself and not sound narcissistic because you're focusing on yourself. But I focus on myself so I can help the world. That was the whole point of this shit. You don't have to believe me. I believe me. And the people that I've helped definitely believe me because they know I'm not getting paid. I mean, the people that are getting paid, and I'm not saying all of them are bad, but I would say that when money is motivating people to do things, that can't possibly be healthy, you know? Maybe I just hate money. You know, I probably should get over that because it's not really good for me to have that kind of attitude. And I know that I would not be in the position that I'm in if it weren't for my parents, like really, really helping me out when I didn't even ask them to. You know, they did this for me because they feel like they're supposed to take care of their children, because that's an old school mindset that no longer exists. Leaving something behind for the next generation, you know? And it's just unfortunate that people think that they're not supposed to help anybody but themselves. It's like my friend Ronnit. She's in this fucking facility right now, this rehabilitation place. And she said the nurses are just terrible and they're really impatient. It's like, why would you work in a position like that if you're not patient? You know? It's like, that's why public school is terrible. Because it's like a prison, you know? With impatient people that can't handle that responsibility. And honestly, though, it's not really their fault. It's not really their fault that they can't handle all that responsibility, because it's just too much. That's too much to put on somebody, especially a female, okay? Females are really emotional. And when they feel like somebody's wronged them or somebody pisses them off, they get really, really narcissistic and vindictive, okay? I've seen myself be that way. I had to grow out of that shit. I had to grow out of that shit, not just because of the restaurant industry, but, you know, relationships that I've been in, friendships that I've had, and that have taught me, like, no, don't behave this way. This is wrong. Like, you are not owed diddly squat in this world. So, anyway. I gotta go pick up my food here in a second. But, But anyway, Ronnit, she's helping her roommate meditate. And she's like, you know, this place is so terrible, but at least I can offer my services to those that need it. Like, that's how she's looking at it. And that's how everybody needs to look at everything. Like, no matter how bad the circumstance is, you should look at it like it's an opportunity to be of service. It's an opportunity to utilize gifts that only you have. And you can help people with that attitude. Like, just that attitude itself is enough of a help, considering the fact that so many people just want to whine and complain all the time. Just you not contributing to that very, very large group in our society like that, that's pretty awesome already, you know? And you're just going to keep building onto that. Everybody needs to have this attitude. And if they did, this world would be way better. But you know the attitude that most people have.